What would you do if your country was under attack? Today, we delve into the chilling reality Ukraine faced when Russia launched the largest aerial attack since the war began. The chill of December 2023 was punctuated by the ominous roar of engines in the sky. Over an 18-hour period, the peaceful silence was shattered as major Ukrainian cities, including Kyiv, Lviv, Dnipro, Odessa, Zaporizhia and Kharkiv, became the target of an unprecedented attack. The sky was filled with a swarm of 158 drones and missiles, a terrifying mix of hypersonic, ballistic and cruise missiles, raining down chaos and destruction. The resulting damage was catastrophic. Residential buildings and warehouses were set ablaze, their once sturdy structures reduced to rubble. The air was filled with the cries of the wounded and the desperate calls for help. The assaults left at least 144 people injured, including children, and many more buried under the debris of their homes. In the capital, Kyiv, the city's air defense systems were triggered as the city's skyline was lit up by the fiery glow of the explosions. The city that had once been a bustling hub of activity was now a war zone, its people living in fear of the unseen enemy in the sky. The scale of this assault was unlike anything Ukraine had experienced before. In comparison, the previous biggest assault in November 2022 involved 96 missiles, a number dwarfed by this recent onslaught. As Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky succinctly put it, Russia attacked with everything it has in its arsenal. With the previous biggest assault in November 2022 involving 96 missiles, this recent attack signals an alarming escalation in the conflict. In the face of such aggression, nations must decide their stance. The UK didn't hesitate to show its support for Ukraine. In response to the unprecedented assault, the United Kingdom took a bold step. In the aftermath of the aerial attacks, the UK government announced it was sending hundreds of British-made air defence missiles to Ukraine, a move that underlines its commitment to stand by Ukraine's defence and a testament to its condemnation of Russian barbarity. Defence Secretary Grant Shapps voiced his thoughts on the situation. He painted a vivid picture of the Russian president's actions, describing Putin's airstrikes as a desperate and futile attempt to regain momentum after the catastrophic loss of hundreds of thousands of conscripts and ahead of the humiliation of his three-day war entering a third calendar year. A stark reminder of the gravity of the situation. Shapps went on to emphasise the UK's steadfast support for Ukraine, stating, "We continue to stand by Ukraine's defence, which is why today we are sending hundreds of air defence missiles to restock British gifted air defence systems capable of striking down Russian drones and missiles with incredible accuracy." This is not just about replenishing the depleted defences, but also about sending a strong message to Russia. Shapps added that Putin was testing Ukraine's defences and the West's resolve. He highlighted Ukraine's resilience, stating, "Ukraine's degradation of the Russian Black Sea Fleet has proven it is still in this fight to win. It's a testament to Ukraine's resistance and a firm refusal to be intimidated." In the face of these challenges, Shapps' words resonate with clarity and determination. He said, "Today's air defence package sends an undeniable message in the face of Russian barbarity that the UK remains absolutely committed to supporting Ukraine." This statement not only reaffirms the UK's resolve, but also speaks volumes about its commitment to the cause. In the words of Mr. Shapps, this air defence package sends an undeniable message in the face of Russian barbarity that the UK remains absolutely committed to supporting Ukraine. As the situation unfolds, the world watches, waiting to see how the balance of power will shift and how countries will rise to the occasion. The aftermath of an attack is often as devastating as the attack itself. Let's look at the fallout and Ukraine's plea for support. In the wake of the assault, the devastation was widespread. In the central region of Dnipropetrovsk, a shopping centre, a privately held home, and a 6-story residential building bore the brunt of the missile strikes. 5 people lost their lives in this single region alone. The Black Sea port city of Odessa didn't fare any better. Missiles tore through residential buildings, leaving 3 dead and at least 15 wounded, including 2 children. In the northeast, Kharkiv was rocked by 22 Russian strikes, causing significant damage to a hospital, residential buildings, and an industrial facility. But the fallout went beyond the immediate loss of life and property. The Energy Ministry reported power outages in 4 regions after the air attack, stoking fears of Russian strikes on power grids. This wasn't an unfounded fear, but a grim reminder of previous instances when millions were plunged into darkness as Russian strikes pounded the power grid. This devastating night marked yet another chapter in Ukraine's brutal war, now stretching into its 22nd month. Ukraine, battered but unbroken, has been warning for weeks that Russia could be stockpiling missiles to launch a major air attack on the energy system. And this brings us to Ukraine's plea for support. Ukrainian officials have urged the country's Western allies to provide it with more air defenses to protect itself against aerial attacks like Friday's one. This is not a mere request, but a desperate call for survival as signs of war fatigue strain efforts to keep support in place. Ukraine's plea for more air defenses underscores the gravity of the situation. The question now is, how will the world respond?